know I'll be there. If you should fall, you know I'll be there. I'll go anywhere. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, DEFFINITY, DEVVE, daCat, small video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all, and everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. And yes, we are back to our regularly scheduled programming. I should be live every night at 8. There will be some exceptions. Obviously, Tuesdays is the OMI is my homie show. We'll continue that on Tuesday. I am going to be live on other times as well. We're going to have some type of, I don't know if it's going to be with me and Rain, but Manu is going to have some type of update for DEFFINITY next week on the 30th. New Year's Eve, Stranger Things be coming out. I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going. I could be going to Arizona. I could be going elsewhere. I might be at home. We'll see. On the 1st, that is going to be the show that me and Zen Allegra have. It's every other Thursday at 8 p.m. So we'll do that. That Friday, I do have L. L is a, I don't even know what her, about your mother. Where the heck is she? If I can freaking find her. All right, L is a commercial model. She'll be coming on 1,400 followers. I think she has other stuff that she's doing. She has a link tree. I don't know what's on the link tree. Okay, all right. It's just other stuff. It's not, we'll talk about it when she gets back. Anyway, she'll be coming on at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2nd. And then I have Helia. Hell yeah. We have Helia. Where the heck is she? Where the heck is she? H-E-L. All right, so Helia Carr, 310,000 followers over on Instagram. She'll be coming on the 3rd at 6 p.m. I don't know if I'll go live that night. I think that might be because I might be entertaining someone. I'll let you know. It's my day. We might have a skit. Bill Gardner saying first, my man, can't leave you out. And we're gonna have Bill Gardner on at some point in January too. We're gonna have Bill Gardner come on. We might share a drink, although I've drank probably for like 10 days in a row. I did not today. I went back to the gym today, very light. Very, very light day. My joints couldn't take it. I was trying to do some tries, and the joint in my elbow, I was like my ulna was like not connecting, and it seemed like it needed to crack. I was like, oh. Anyway, so I'm going to try to get healthy again. And then I'm supposed to do something with Bleaves Crypto on the 4th. Although last time we tried to do something, he had some things going on. Anyway, that's going to be the schedule for the next couple of weeks. I don't anticipate any crazy announcements, although we do have Manu coming on next week at some point. We'll have some stuff to talk about. Disney Plus is raising the price of their stuff. Like tomorrow, like $150 a year now, which honestly isn't even that bad. That's how much I pay per month to go to the gym. So it's really not that bad. They're going to do what they need to do. What I'm really curious about is because Disney Plus has, I think it's like it's at least top 3 streaming platforms. And it does look like Netflix is probably not going to get the Warner Brothers deal. And it looks like it's going to go to Paramount. So when that happens, nothing really changes. I think Disney stays number 3, but Paramount will be the number 1 streaming network after that. I don't really know anyone that uses Peacock. Obviously, HBO Max is going to stay HBO Max for a little while. Eventually, though, in like 2027, it'll all become, Paramount. But it's similar with Hulu and Disney, because if you don't know, Hulu is owned, I think, a very large amount of it is owned by Disney, like 30-something%. They own a bunch of it. Anyway, let's go back here. Let's see how the market is doing. Oh, there's a lot of stuff over here that I don't need to. Excuse me, I don't need to talk about. Although we should talk about a couple things. Oh my God. Hiccups. Okay, one of the things that we're probably going to need to talk about is the Collect app, the Collect thing that we have. We have the website now. What's up, CSpill99? How's it going, fam? This is one of those things where I did like a Spark Notes of it yesterday, where lending's going to be great. And this would take a year over the cycle. So I'm talking with a couple of, give me one sec, guys. October low, cycles. Just worry about liquidity. We need clarity, act past, and ETH at all-time high. All right, so I'm talking with a couple of OMI whales. They had like billions from years ago, and they're very salty they didn't sell. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame them. Out of all of these OMI whales, I actually put in the most amount into OMI and have the least amount of OMI just because of the time that they got it, etc. So obviously I'm not going to read the messages or anything, but the sentiment is that, yeah, people thought that Coinbase would make OMI Moon, but it never did. Obviously, one, because it wasn't a real listing. You can buy it there, it just doesn't have an order book. So people thought, what do they think? They're just like, they were surprised Kraken wasn't our #1 exchange for OMI. Not even top 5. Again, we'll look at it right now, and we'll take a look at. OMI's actually up 6% on the day. Yeah, that's not bad. 3.1 million in volume, $61 million market cap. The market cap is still really not bad. Obviously, we wish it was higher because the price is just devastatingly low right now. But out of all the stuff that's going on with it, 40K is on base, fair. 217 on OKX, 240K on Gate, 230 on MEXC, 513 on BingX. But there's less than $30,000 on Kraken. The OMI Euro connection has a couple thousand, less than 4,000. But for USD, it's literally $25,275. Again, based on Uniswap has more than that. So I'm not 100% sure what people were expecting, because again, anyone in America that wants to buy it can get it. The access to they made access to the token so much easier from 2022, 2023, 2024, and especially this year. You had Banker, you had all that as well. Like it's just ease of access to the token has gotten so much easier. Of course, it was going to be an exchange wasn't going to be the end all be all here, but again, it's really nice to be able to have that, because we didn't get an exchange for the people that are already here. We got an exchange for the people that aren't here yet. It's for the people that are going to become fans of VeVe and OMI, and they're going to say, and however they market it, they could market OMI, they can come in for that, or they'll market VeVe, and then they'll be like, okay, what's the token associated with VeVe? Is it the VeVe coin? And then obviously we'll go and be like, no, actually, it's the OMI coin. Okay, well, how do you get that? And then like, well, you can buy it just on Coinbase, you buy it on Kraken. So people are probably going to start buying it on Coinbase. Then when people realize that it just uses a one inch aggregator and there's no order book over there, they'll probably slowly migrate over to Kraken, and they'll be like, okay, let me buy these sell orders. They'll do that. So again, it's like, I remember my friend EJ, who was a really good friend of mine way back in the day. Like I was like 19. I saw him as a little bit of a big brother. Probably took on a little too much responsibility, but he was pretty big into network marketing. And I had a conversation with him one day about him and at the time it was just his girlfriend, Mariana. They're married now. I don't know if I was even with them when they got engaged, but just one late night we're working, and I just had the conversation like, why do you do this? Because it's a really long grind, and he didn't necessarily have to. It was just something that he could do, what we were doing on the side, that could be really, really big one day. But again, it's like training a Dratini. Yeah, it gets a little stronger with each level, but it's in a slow level up group. Doesn't evolve into Dragonair until level 37. And then it's like, dude, like all this work and level 37, and it knows some moves. You could teach it with TM some other moves, but it's like, God, when is it going to be a Dragonite? When can I get these awesome moves and this awesome stuff? And then, eventually it does. but it's just a hard Pokemon to raise. So I asked him, like, why do this? You can do other things that'll get you more money quicker. And he said, this is for what he's doing for this for the future. And he basically said, I'm doing it for the kids that I don't have yet. I was like, okay, wow, that was a really, like, I still remember it 15 years later. I'm doing it for the kids I don't have yet. And I think what OMI or what VeVe's doing here is that they got an exchange for the people that aren't fans of it yet. I remember I posted a couple months ago, well, back in like 2016, I'm in Germany with a couple of friends, and we are seeing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is the first movie I ever saw abroad. And obviously, for people that don't know, our very own Fanny Carbonell was in that movie playing Queenie's mother. We love her. She's an OMI homie. She flies that VeVe flag. And I made a post about saying, like, hey, this came up in my Facebook memories. I watched Fanny, on the big screen before I even knew who she was. And she requoted that, and she said something along the lines of, he was watching a friend whom he didn't know he'd one day have. And again, this is what VeVe's doing. They're doing, like, everything they do, or I would say most things that they do, is not for the here and now. Most of it is for months or years away. And again, it's great that they do that. That's great for long-term investing, for long-term hodling, for long-term, again, buying the OMI token. Maybe one day I'll be legally allowed to buy shares of the company. And they, yeah, it's really good to see that. I know what everyone wants. They just want the token price to moon. I do too, probably more than anyone. But yeah, when are we going to get that? What I told the OMI homies, or the OMI whales in a group chat with, I was like, listen, I wouldn't expect anything for the next couple of months. You're going to have to get the Clarity Act passed. You're going to, so again, just as anything can go to zero at any moment, things can run like some of the biggest rallies are in bear markets. Like, you could have a token run for absolutely no reason. It just does. So that can happen as well. I'm not expecting that to. Like I said, I told them that you'd need the Clarity Act to pass. You'd need ETH at all-time highs. You need to get past, this February, March, which everyone's talking about having just, this major epic downturn that is going to be terrific in the worst ways. And, well, at least for people that are longing, I would not trade on leverage. And that's another thing for Kraken. I know there's people that are going to go on there and like, oh, I can, only can go at 10%. That actually means a 2x for me. I'm going to long Kraken, 20x leverage. Most likely you're going to get wiped out. Again, sometimes it works. It could do, it could double. And in which case it doesn't just go up 100%. It actually goes up 2000%. You 20x your money. It could very well do that. I don't expect it to. I think most people that use leverage get wiped out. They get wrecked. But again, it happens. Where's it going with this? Yeah, so you need ETH at all-time highs, and you need the digital collectibles narrative to run. You need NFTs to run again. And they will. We just don't know when. Could it be one of the first things to run? Maybe. Could it? I mean, when do we get to that banana zone? I don't think it's going to be for several months from now. And last bull market, NFTs didn't run until late. Like, they were the last things to run. So you could be down here another year, if not more. Or we could have some crazy thing happen tomorrow. Like, we have no idea. I don't expect anything to happen anytime soon, but that's likely the reality. And what VeVe's doing is the best. They continuously do drops, and especially the ones for VeVe, where it's their own IP. They get to keep every red cent of it. That's the stuff that I'm really looking at most. And again, the thumbnail from today, VeVe's numbers gradually rise. Take a look at that real quick. If I can find it. A few months ago, you didn't have any day where we had over like 750 people, 800 people. And even now on December 18th, 618, that was pretty low. The 17th, 693. But you have a couple days here over 1,100. On December 21st, you had 1,140 active daily users. On December 24th, it's 1,202 active daily users, and even 939 on Christmas. So the 24th was their IP, and when their IP dropped, that was the most active users we had in a 10-day period, which was really nice to see. I don't know what we had on the 21st. I'll take a look at that now. Now, shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. That's double not what I wanted to do. Triple. Fudge your mother. Meow, 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 meow. Okay. Coming soon. No, I don't want that. The 21st was, Street Fighter. Derp. So we actually had more people show up for, what the heck? We had more people show up for the David and Dan. That is insane. I did not realize that went on. We had more people show up for the David and Dan Christmas tree drop than we did for Street Fighter, like Ken. That is insane. What in the what? Okay, hold on. 40 times 321. 12,000. That's not a lot. 21,000? Okay. So 33,000, like, you had Street Fighter make 33,000, which is fine, like, good for them. But David and Dan, they made about, I think it was 30,000. Let me see here, because it was all 15 gems, right? Okay. 1980. Yeah, $29,700, and they sold out in 30 minutes. The Street Fighter's been active for like a week. There's still stuff there. Like, how do we interpret this data? Because again, people love David and Dan. They like, because they're the faces of the company. They're just awesome people. We love them. But holy heck, more people showed up for that than Street Fighter. Now, okay, why? Maybe it's because of the price. Street Fighter was $40 to $50. Actually, give me one sec here. I think I miscalculated this. Street Fighter might have actually had more money, because I thought it was... How much was it for the secret rare? Can I even see what it was for the secret rare? I think the secret rare was 80. So you have... Oh, okay. So it's actually 42,000 that was made. Okay, which is fine. So if it's 42,000 that were made, or 42,000 that was made on that day. Okay, that's a little bit of a horse of a different color there. I do not have any polygon. Bill Gardner chilling in Cali right now. Get that bread. Let's go to New York, man. Let's hang out. Space Penguin saying, love it. I love you too, Space Penguin. I love you too, random citizen. Oh, boys, hey, Randy. Did Dashy miss you? Of course, Dashy missed me while I was away, but Dashy's. We're good. We're Gucci. Okay. Yeah, what the heck? So part of the reason, I think, is because of the price. On the David and Dan stuff, you didn't have any single collectible that had more than 475. That had more than 475 editions, and some of them were 20 editions, which is insane. And you had multiple of them with 20 editions. That is an amazing feat there. So I think people saw that, okay, like let's say like the AT-ATs were like $50, and they weren't going for that much afterwards. Be advised, the 1980 AT-AT, there was a $5,000 bounty on it, and the person said no, they'd rather just have a collectible. Maybe they'll sell it for OMI, but damn, that was wild. So we still have the big announcement day to look forward to. Yes, but that's not going to be until 2026. I don't expect that to be in the first couple months. I expect that to be in springtime. So that big announcement again will not be this year. In case people missed it, that will be in. I'm going to say middle of next year. It could be sooner. I'm just again. DEVVE did the same thing. DEVVE had the hugest announcement that any Web3 company could ever announce, and they decided not to, partially because of the fact that we're in a shitty market right now. So I would say in the Wubba Wubba, the invincible Wubba 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 Wubba, the announcement for VeVe will not be made until 2020, and there's multiple of them. They won't be made until 2026. We don't know what time. Again, I'm estimating mid 2026. It could happen at any time, but again, that's just my estimate. And again, DEVVE did the same thing. They have the biggest announcement in the history of announcements for any Web3 company, and they didn't do it, partially because of the fact that that the market is terrible right now. And when they do, their token will go insane. VeVe's announcement, I don't know what it is. Again, there's multiple of them that are going to be coming out, and your guess is as good as mine on what it is, on who it might involve. Is it an IP? What type of IP? What type of partnership? Did they buy a company? Did a company come in and be like, hey, give us 5% of you guys, we'll give you this amount of money? And if they did so, at what price? Like, there's so many things it could be that could be wild. Could be Disney, it could be Tesla, it could be, Apple, Amazon, like pick your poison there. When VeVe's successful at something that every other company in the world has failed at, mostly, you have something special. So yeah, I don't know what the big announcements are. I don't know when. Again, middle of next year maybe is my guess. And DEVVE, I'm gonna say their announcement will be in April. God's probably gonna be funny, and he's gonna probably have VeVe's and DEVVE's announcement be literally probably like the same day, because apparently my misery means something to him. So that'll be wild. But again, I don't know. Again, the market could be even crappier, even more in the crapper in April, and they could decide to delay it again. Or, I don't know. Stuff goes crazy, and they both announce in January. I have no idea. Anyway, back to Ken. Back to so there's not a lot of risk when buying the David and Dan Christmas trees, because they're $15. They're very, very cheap. And the fact that they sold out of that means that people were okay taking the risk at $15. More people were willing to take that risk than they are to buy a rare Ken, which is 987 mint. And they didn't sell that much. They sold less than 200 of them. There were more David and Dan's ornaments that were sold than rare Kens. Nobody outside the VeVe fam knows who David and Dan are. They don't know VeVe, but they know who Ken is. And this is where people are putting their money. They're putting it right now on rarity and scarcity. And they're betting on blockchain, obviously, because it's finality. But they're buying that because that I guess spending $15 hurts less. And what are you risking? $15. You can't lose more than that. If the collectible went to zero, which obviously it'd still at least be $1. But what is the collectibles for David and Dan right now? If I search VeVe, does it come up? Okay, David and Dan. Yes, Christmas. Can I look at the fucking... Okay, filters. Just put collectible. Apply. And then let's see. There's VeVe has put out a lot of stuff. But I want to see their Christmas tree ornaments. Do I have to put David on it? All right, I guess I have to. David, filter, collectible, apply. Okay, the secret rares are insane. They're like, oh, this one's actually only $700. Many of them are quite a bit more than that. Oh, the Unguard's only $400. Why did I see there was something where I saw somebody bought one for like $1,800. Okay, maybe it's this one, the Collector's Heart Gold. Because this one's 2,500. I don't know why this one's 2,500. And the other two are like in the low hundreds. And then this one's 950. But yeah, so somebody paid not $1,800 for a Collector's at Heart Gold. It was bought for in OMI. A couple million OMI. I guess one of 20. I don't know why this one though is worth so much. Anyway, look, I wanted to go to the smaller ones. Okay, these rares. I assume almost $6. I could have sworn. Okay, this one's $3. I would have said about $3. So either way, even if it was just $1, the max you could lose on it is 14, because that's all you're putting in. Whereas Ken, you could put in $50, and what if it doesn't sell? And again, I think Ken will be an amazing collectible in the future. The common, the rare, obviously the secret rare is probably already well above retail. And I think that'll do exceedingly well in the future. Right now, people, I don't know what it's. Let's take a look. Let's see what the rare. Oh, it's actually like it's $42, so it's like $8 below retail. So that's not bad. This is the one that I would see. Okay, yeah, so that's not bad. Again, I could just picture people though, because they've seen this before, whether it's at Ask, whether it's whatever, people paying $50 for something and then it's worth like $7. That's like, okay, you don't like to see that happen when you're the buyer. So again, people are putting their money where the things are cheaper, they're scarcer. Every single one of the David and Dan collectibles was scarcer than the rare Ken. And I think that really helped people out as well. So you had more people show up, and you had 4 different chasers. The one of 20s. Hey, what's up, Connor? How's it going, fam? So again, the chasers are I think really what matters as far as selling things out. And I guess secondary collectible market as well. I don't know why that one collectible is worth like 2K and the other ones are like a couple hundred. But again, I think we should look at it and just say, okay, this has happened. Do we 100% know why? It's just everything. The love for David and Dan, you want to support VeVe. The chance of getting a one of 20, like 4 collectibles of one of 20. It's themed. It's Christmas time. We love it's just there's less risk because there's the multivariate analysis that I'm doing right now. Every single thing that you put them against each other, VeVe wins with the exception of notoriety or popularity. Everyone knows Street Fighter. Everyone loves Street Fighter. Maybe some girls like have zero interest in it, but this is a heavily male-dominated field. Men will absolutely love it, especially as more users come on, just as they got Kraken, not for the users they have now, but for the users that will come once the narrative hits. It's the same thing with a lot of these collectibles. I know 970 something seems like a lot right now. It's not. It's not. When people I've gone 30 minutes on this, so I do want to get to other stuff. But yeah, this is insane. Anyway, let's speaking of which, all right, we went over the OMI. Jeremy, do I have to go over Jeremy Padour? Jeremy's saying, what do you collect? I'll say mostly stuff on VeVe. Some stuff on we'll start collecting Pokemon again after crypto goes up. So Jeremy was on the Iced Coffee Hour recently, and the Iced Coffee Hour made up of Stephen Graham. I forget the combination of letters to his name, and him and one other person interviewed him about collecting. When talking about Web3 stuff, he had mentioned, I think, Bored Apes and I think CryptoPunks. There was no mention of VeVe, no mention of OMI, no mention, and regardless of this, he never really like invested. He was given, tokens. I think a lot of tokens. And I think and again, this is just my opinion. I think he's so kind of hurt about the performance of OMI and not selling when it was at 1.2, 1.4 cents, whatever it was. And he would have had, I don't know, like millions of dollars, I'm guessing, to now where that's worth really not a lot. I mean, he might have six figures in it. I don't know how much he has, but yeah, it's rough. But I think he lets that kind of cloud his vision a little bit. And I don't know if he sees it or not, but you have other companies that have tried to do what VeVe and OMI does, and they just don't. And you take a look at, hey, Booth says, wubba lubba dub dub. It's Rick and Morty. Love that. Yeah, one Rick and Morty. So I think that's why he's a little hurt on it, and he's a little salty on it. And okay, fair point. We all got burned on it as well, so far. But he didn't even mention other stuff as far as like Pudgy Penguins, which are, again, Bored Apes. Cool. They made a big splash last time around. CryptoPunks, same thing. I think CryptoPunks partnered with like Tiffany and other stuff. I would really like to meet with him, and I just number I could call him or text him whenever I want, but I'm not sure he's ready to listen at this point, which again, take whatever time you need. I'll always be here. But I'd like to speak with him on, hey, I know you mentioned CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, but I don't even have any Pudgy Penguins. Like, but have you seen what this company did? Have you seen what these IPs are doing? Because when you're Jeremy Padower and you have no free time to yourself, and the time is just is given to someone. It's like when SpongeBob, it's like when Sandy is about to hibernate or go south for the winter or whatever, and SpongeBob says, any time that I haven't already sold to Mr. Krabs, I'm going to sell to you or give to you. I feel like any of his free time that he would have would go to his family, would go to his, like business partners. I feel like he doesn't have a lot. So I don't want to take up any more of his free time. And even though I feel like I could help him in that area because he doesn't have the time to look at a bunch of these things, I think it would be an overall net positive meeting. Anyway, Chuck and Hank says, hey, did you see my last message on Telegram? So you might recognize the motel. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I won't say where it is, but okay, that's where I thought this was. So what I thought that was, I thought I was there because it looked like a place that's kind of near me as well. Yeah, let's see that. Let's do. Yeah, I love Schitt's Creek. Do you feel? Oh my God, what the? Dude, there's a group on Facebook where we all ask each other ridiculously personal questions. 134,000 people in there, and there's one dude, Alan, just absolutely unhinged. Love that dude. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's do. All right, we did OMI. Let's go to DEVVE here. We talked about them a little bit. They've been very, very flat the last week or so. They had actually gone down to like 18.8 cents, back up to 23 cents now, down about 0.22% on the day. Damn, $20 million market cap. That is low. That is low. Like, am I, what's his name in 2003? Because Shorty got low. Bottom jeans, boots, the fur. Sorry. We're on Coin Market Cap, it says we're down 1.7%. With almost $22 million market cap. And there is, what's the volume on this today? 532,000. Okay, not bad. Let's take a look. See, 24. What do we got here? Gate.io has almost 30% of the volume. Uniswap has over 9%. MEXC is almost 14%. Biconomy. Do they have futures on there? How do we have 137,000 in volume on Biconomy? 25%. Okay, all right, whatever. And Biconomy just renegade listed us as well. Like it wasn't like a paid for listing. They just did it. I think it's for future perpetuals though. Anyway, and the rest of what we have there is pretty insignificant. Oh, 17% on LCX exchange. I don't know if that's really real, but again, it's what we have. Mr. Antoine, I hope you had a great holiday. I had a great vacation with the girlfriend. I had a great vacation with just great times. Plagued by other stuff, but again, a lot of fun times there. How's your Christmas? I see macroeconomics of the word are in bad shape, hence why precious metals have skyrocketed in prices. Yeah, the holiday was being able to see the girlfriend for those days was nice. Hope to see her again soon. Yeah, people are not generally happy with crypto. I mean, everything else is fine. Stock markets are fine, bonds fine, rates come down. Like everything else in the world is pretty rock solid. Crypto is just, oh my God, this just got destroyed. That's why precious metals have skyrocketed in prices. I mean, it was just long overdue. I mean, silver didn't move for 10 years. Like from like 2013, 2014 to like 2024. It stayed at like $14, $15. Like it just didn't move. So obviously this is going to happen at some point. I didn't expect it here. I had a buddy of mine sell some silver. I was like, listen, this hasn't moved for 10 years. Will it correct eventually? Absolutely. Will it correct more than what crypto is going to correct? Absolutely not. But it did correct first, and silver has gone up. What is that, like $70-something an ounce now? That's a big move, and it has outperformed, I think, 99.9% of cryptos this year because most everything is down. Christmas last year, Bitcoin was at 98,000. We've been steady here at about 87 to 88,000, 89,000, give or take. And obviously alts, went right down with it. There's actually a post from Pro the Doge. I don't know if I have it. Yesterday. Yeah, Pro the Doge saying, on red days like today, it's important to remember what coins you hold and what they will look like in the future when the market pumps. Every single coin on Pro the Doge's list will see all-time highs and go above and beyond that. He said we'll see Bitcoin at 150, ETH at 10K, Doge at $1, Floki at $3 billion market cap. He says that these aren't ifs, but whens, and understand that the 4-year crypto cycle as we know it is broken, agreed. It no longer exists, and we are in uncharted crypto territory. That's why it's important to stick to the coins with proven track records. Okay. Don't go jumping into the next shiny coin that pops up in hopes of becoming rich. Good advice. Every coin on this list that he gave is 4 years old, and all have communities and chart patterns and history of proving they'll be around for a long time. And this is the way safe gains are made. Will you see 100x overnight? Probably not, but give me a solid 10x any day of the week and I'm happy. You just need to make sure you position yourself accordingly. Now, he has millions of dollars, so a 10x for him is pretty solid. Most people do not have millions of dollars. I don't have multi-millions. So yeah, the rest of us looking for that 100x. And what I really liked is daCat Studios that had posted, and they said, hey, Slum, your 6.7 trillion daCat outperformed everything else you listed in 2025. Floki is down 77%, Doge is down 60%, ETH is down 11%, and Bitcoin's down 7%. But what about daCat? It's actually up 27%. Back to cat because that's where it's at a $1.1 million market cap. The cat token is the best potential. Again, his words, not mine, but I do have to agree with a lot of it. Mr. MC1 says, hey fam, hope you're all having a great holiday. Crypto, the analysts like Marilyn Goldman say is expected to go up in late Q1 with some expected Trump crypto changes. If the Clarity Act gets passed, yeah. But again, you have Manu and you have a lot of other people really saying that in February, March, you have a drastic downturn because that's what a lot of the banks and institutions are saying. So Mr. MC1, if you haven't caught up in a spell, Manu was letting me know that October, early to mid-October, whenever that big crash was, he mentioned that someone gave him a call and that someone that gave him the call, where's the, hold on one second here. Oh, 90, okay, very good. And the someone that had given him, no, my charger. Someone that had given him the call had said, close out all your longs. And he's like, I don't have any longs, but okay, good to know. And then the next day was the bloodiest day in crypto, like ever. And those same people are talking about February, March of there being another big drastic downturn. Could be all talk, things could change, but that's just what, again, kind of hearing through the grapevine here. That being said, if analysts from Marilyn Goldman are correct and it goes up late Q1, that could be a perfect time for VeVe to have their announcements, for DEVVE to have their big announcement. Again, we'll see. Let's move on past that though. Let's do, okay, what do? We did DEVVE. So many cycles, meow, meow, meow. Okay, let's do DEFINITY here. DEFINITY has $17 in volume on the day. I'm sorry, 17.9. $2.4 million market cap. It's at 1.5 cents. There's been no movement on this for quite a while. In the middle of the month, actually, this is the lowest we've been in quite a while. Oh, no, we've had in November, in mid to late November, we were at 1.3-ish cents, or 1.5, but yeah, we've had a lot of ups and downs. Robinhood gives away $750,000 worth of Bitcoin to its users. What? Crazy. Have I told you lately? Meow, 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 meow. Sorry. That's insane. So DEFINITY, I don't have anything past the 24th for P&L stuff, but again, hundreds of thousands a month, well into the millions per year. Obviously, you can make that guess just from the fact that you're doing hundreds of thousands per month. I don't want to allude to what the company is worth. It's worth a big multiple of what the market cap is right now. Again, for any company worth their salt, you have like a 20x multiple for the revenues that they're doing. Again, in the multi-millions of revenue, this is gross revenue. But even at, yeah, and the market cap of their token is 2.4, like, that's insane. So again, I own a lot of the token. I'm part of the company. I'm good with whatever happens. Let's check out daCat real quick. So we'll do daCat. All right, I have more volume on daCat than they do anyone else. We'll ask one of the big man's crypto people. My man, get it. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so daCat, $521 in volume. It's so low. It's so low. $1.1 million market cap, $318,000 in liquidity. I'll take it. Same thing as the rest. I don't expect this to go up until ETH goes up because it's pegged to ETH. And again, there's a lot of ETH in the liquidity pool. That's why it's really outperformed most everything else, or everything that Pro the Doge put up there. Yeah, so in the SMOL comic that I'm writing, which will be under the daCat brand, Pro the Doge is in it. I asked if I could put him in it. He hasn't said yes or no yet, so I might have to change him out for another character. Maybe I'll put myself in it. Maybe I'll put Randy in it. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, we have a, what do we have? We've got, give me one sec here. I needed to look at something because the SMOL comic book is going to take place after like book 5, I think, for daCat. Between books 4 and 5, or between books 5 and 6, like whatever. It's going to be much later in the storyline. So I had to look back at one of the other comic books because there's a couple characters in there I forgot the names of, and one of the book that I was looking at was DigiJoints. If you don't know them, they're super cool. They're super awesome, and they have their own comic book, and they'll cross over with daCat at some point in the future as well. And there's a character in there. So Nike the Pig, we have so much to talk about there, but Nike the Pig is basically like, it's his own story, but it takes place right after Space Penguins. Space Penguins comes out, goes right into daCat number 3, and then also right into Nike the Pig. So Nike the Pig number 1 happens the same time as daCat number 3, and again, they're both kind of sequels to Space Penguin. And Nike the Pig is really good. And Nike the Pig Part 2 is pretty much a DigiJoints. Spoilers. Hasn't even come out yet. And I couldn't remember where I put this character's name, so I read through the whole thing. It took me less than 20 minutes because it's only 27 pages for DigiJoints, and it's so good. I'm very, very proud of all the stuff that we put out, all of the stuff that's happening, and all of the stuff that daCat's putting out. So again, we'll talk about SMOL in a minute because that's the comic we're talking about, but all of these IPs under daCat's banner, one of them is going to run up. It could be daCat. But even if it's not daCat at first, and it's DigiJoints, it's Heinecoin, it's Nike the Pig, it's Space Penguins, we don't know. But whichever one runs up, it'll help daCat as well. In the same way that I'm fine with Disney Pinnacle and other companies doing crazy advertising. Why? Because all roads will eventually lead to VeVe. And all roads go in, like, they can do their whatever. And people that go into other platforms will take a look at other ones and they'll find VeVe. Similar, like why the other cryptos projects that are in daCat in these storylines, if one of them goes big, it's going to be great for daCat as well. So that's part of my reason there. Anyway, take a look at SMOL. We do have some news on SMOL. I take general care, and I try to keep up with those who are in my comic. SMOL, some updates for everyone. In regard to the XT exchange situation, stolen funds have been frozen and a police report has been filed. Recovered funds will be used to buy the SMOL token. In addition to this, they'll be making our first in-person donation with SMOL this upcoming week. Start the New Year's off right and join the renormalization revolution. There's a big Q1 announcement David is talking about. Is it a game? I don't think it's a game. I assume it's IP related. I don't think it's a game though. He did mention a game in the, I think it's the collectible guy. I think he mentioned gaming there. I don't think that's a Q1 announcement though. Again, that's just my opinion. Could be. I don't think there's really gonna be any announcements Q1, but we'll see. Omar says, good evening, Omar. Good evening, my man. Tengeku Senso. I don't think that would be the announcement. I don't know, what that game's been doing the past couple of years. If there is any type of games, I'm gonna say, yeah, if there is any type of games, I don't think it would be this Tengeku Senso. It's not gonna come from VeVe. It would have to come from, yeah, it's not gonna come from VeVe. It would probably come from maybe another studio or people that are using again, independent studio, I would guess. But again, that's just my opinion. All right, so SMOL, they're Oh, they're actually up 8% on the day. Still down 61% on 2 weeks, 57% on the week, but up 8% on the day. And if you go to max, they're up 458% since their inception. How some assets can be used in a game. That would be dope. That, I mean, yeah, that it wouldn't be that hard to say like, okay, you have this asset that unlocks this skin or this whatever, and you get to use this. So yeah, that would be perfect. And again, with the lending that they're doing, if you want to use somebody's, if you don't want to pay for a certain collectible, lend it out, which is what the collect chain will let you do. It will let you lend out stuff. So renting stuff right here, coming right up, coming up very soon. I'm ready. I'm ready. What about you, Mr. MC1? I feel like Ash Ketchum. I'm ready. Are you? I'm so ready. Ready, Freddy. Okay. Let's get to some of the news here, shall we? What was the last thing I denied? All right, let's go with DEVVE. Give me 1 second. Imagine Marvel Snap the Mighties. That'd be dope. That'd be dope, right? That'd be crazy. Bosbane reposting the stream, my man. Collect chain sounds like Pokemon incoming to me. Just me things. Yeah, I don't think that it's like Pokemon confirmed, but this sorry, stretching. But with this collect chain and what it's doing, this might be the thing that they need to get Pokemon to be like, okay, you know, let's do it. This is, I don't think anyone realizes the implications of this yet. The consequences are very, very good for VeVe and OMI. Anyway, let's go on. We have Tom Anderson from DEVVE a couple days ago saying, hey, everyone, here's some clarification. Is it true that it is true that Ray's in charge of DEVVE Digital and DEVVE Exchange, and that I am less involved operationally there, but I'm still involved at the strategy and board level. I'm still running DEVVE itself, and that isn't changing either. FIAS is my main day-to-day focus. I worked over 20 hours this weekend on it, for example. FIAS is going to be built on DevX, and if FIAS is successful, then DevX and DEVVE will be successful too. Everything said, FIAS also is bigger in scope across everything than just a DevX application. I think the FIAS platform will fundamentally change how things across the ecosystem are built, will enable more people to build DevX applications on themselves, and can drive customer awareness and acquisition, marketing. Oh shit, I'm sorry. Acquisition, marketing, sales, operational support, and drive revenue across all things DEVVE and FIAS. Agreed. Banking startup Irobar raises $350 million at a $4 billion valuation following FDIC approval. Since the Bitcoin ETPs launched in the US in January 2024, global crypto ETPs have seen net inflows of $87 billion. Philippines blocks Coinbase Gemini amid wider crackdown on unlicensed VASPs. Very key there. Hashkey's capital $500 million target. Blockchain fund raises $250 million in first round. I think I went over a lot of this. Oh, I did. I did go over a lot of this. This is Wednesday. Okay, let's go on to, what day is this? Oh yeah, Christmas Day. Oh my God. That's such a good line. Trump has brought back pirating to stop the cartels. Wild. My bae is either going to get a Randy Chavez tat or daCat tat. So we might have another daCat tat on our hands. That would be great. But yeah, getting me on her might not be the first person. She's not going to be the first person to have done that. Source truth. So okay, Trump on Christmas Day said, tonight at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who've been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop slaughtering Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorists to prosper. And God bless our military. And Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues. Wow. That is wild. Hi there, Hey. So now that OMI is on a USA exchange, is it all about the narrative altcoin season now, as long as VeVe stays afloat? So then, absolutely. So again, The blueprint that VeVe has right now is just continuously doing what they're doing, and if they want to expand operations, if they want to do it harder, do like what they did on Christmas Eve. Selling out $29,700 worth of their own product in 30 minutes was fantastic. Obviously, it looks more impressive on the 21st when you had Street Fighter and they did $44,000, but they have to split that with Street Fighter, and I don't know what the I don't know what the split is. I mean, even if I have to give them 50%, yeah, they still make 20-something thousand. That's before they pay people and all that, but keep having the money come in, and that's all you need. As long as you have money coming in, you're good. Again, I don't think David takes a salary. I'm pretty sure Dan doesn't either. I think they just want this company to grow. And again, they still have they still have a decent amount of funds from back when, you know, they made a fudge ton in 2021, 2022, and then obviously less over the years. But yeah, that's all you'd have to do is continuously getting these drops and continuously getting, like, if you're a startup right now and you're looking to get any license, why would any license go to you when they could just go to VeVe? There's no, if I were to start a license just called Chavez Collectibles, and I was like, hey, we're going to do this as well. I know collecting, literally, you know, I have Pokemon on my body. This is what I do. Like this, and I had one of the greatest Pokemon flips in history with Chopi Kangaskhan, bought it at 80, sold it at 279. And I'm sure I could get a couple of licenses to agree. I have no idea how to make these high-end 3D digital collectibles. I have to hire someone for that. But yeah, if I wanted to do that, why would anyone want to come to my platform? It would be because of me, and it would be because I can maybe make cheaper prices scarce, but there's just no way to be able to do this. Again, you need an insane amount of licenses, because if you have one license, there's only so many characters of that license that people are willingly going to be able to buy. You need to build this entire platform, an entire secondary market. If you want to have, you can have crypto put in there, like to get this, like to get a new company, like that's one thing. To get people to buy is like kind of the easy part, but to get regulatory approval in all these countries, to have cash out, which I guess at this point, if people just want to cash out in crypto, that's fine. It's near impossible for any new company, unless you have like Oprah type of money, to be able to make it in this field. Again, you have DC, MLB, Stranger Things, all on Candy Official. They got bought and acquired like 4 different times, from Palm NFT to DC NFT to Candy to Futureverse. They're all done. They're all done. Candy has like nobody else working for them. This is a major platform in the space. So again, what chance does any new platform have at competing with VeVe? There is not. And like, I think one day it's very possible that the US comes after VeVe because of the monopoly that they have on digital collectibles. And you know, the licenses that go along with that. So right now, continue doing what they're doing, and continue selling out drops. What they showed Street Fighter recently was that if you make things scarce enough and you make things cheap enough, the people will come. And so that's what they did. They had 4 chasers. They had at $15 each, and they rocked it. They rocked it, and they outsold most of Street Fighter. Street Fighter had more sales just because they had more stuff. They had more, like if VeVe had a little bit more, let's say they had 2 more collectibles, one at 475, another one at 120, they would have sold that out too. But more people went. Yes, the smaller amount of people was on the Street Fighter day, but the amount of, or more money was spent on the Street Fighter day, but that was with a lesser amount of people. More people showed up for the VeVe one, which I was very, very surprised at. Mr. says Kraken is going to public 2026, might be worth over 20 billion. Yeah, insane. That'll create high visibility. I think it will too. I think it can as well. I don't know who that is. All right. Let's go over more of the Christmas Day. Shoot. All right, give me one sec, guys. Where you go, you know I'll be there. If you should fall, you know I'll be. I don't know why Green Day stuck in my head. Okay, so we gotta talk about AI here real quick. I don't know if y'all remember, like, way back in the day, years ago. I remember librarians, teachers, you know, in my school system that were just like, internet's fine for being able to look up books, but you're never going to replace all the books that are in the world. You can never put them all online. More books are created. So many more books are created each and every day. And then people, they're just like, yeah, computers, they're a fun toy, but they're not good for the environment. And we don't know the ramifications of this electricity that we're using. There's routers and there's other stuff. And the same concerns that I saw about computers 25 years ago plus are the same concerns that I'm seeing now with AI. It's bad for the environment. And okay, yeah, fair point. It is. It uses a lot of energy, a lot of water. And the prices around the AI super centers, or the people that are around the AI super centers, they have to pay higher prices because, again, these AI supers are eating up so much water. So utilities are going up. I get that. That sucks. And so I'm admin of this. I'm admin of this Psyduck fan club. It's got 9,600 members. There's actually a couple more member requests right here. Let me approve those guys real quick. I'm just going to approve them all. I'm not even going to look. I'm going to approve all. Pikachu's your favorite Pokemon? Get the fudge out of here, guy. All right, sorry. I don't even know if I can find. Okay, so this post that I made got a lot of hate. I was like, hey, everyone, after talking with other admins, we're deciding that AI posts are fine as long as it follows the main rules and doesn't go against the overall Facebook community standards. I'm going to take the time now to also say that hate will not be tolerated. If you don't like AI, that's okay. I don't like certain political leaders in the world. So when one of my friends makes a post praising or bashing someone, I just ignore it. AI posted the same. Long live Psyduck. And I understand where a lot of these people, like, their hearts are in the right place. One sec, email, I don't care about that. Where their hearts are in the right place, they're like, listen, it's bad for the environment. We shouldn't do this. And okay, yeah, fair point. Like, straws are probably also bad for the environment. I understand why people don't like, they outlawed straws in like California, that like paper straw, like whatever. Like, you could just drink, you don't really need a straw, you could just do whatever. But I took what they were complaining about, what they call AI slop, is really just someone that doesn't have, like, I don't have any artistic capability as far as drawing. I'm very good at writing. I'm very, very good at writing, world building and all that. But again, I can't draw anything. So yeah, I'm on Sora and I have him make certain things, and it's fun. I don't go crazy on it like you'll see her on Thursday, Zen, like my ex-girlfriend does. She has a lot of stuff. But there was this one kid that he wanted to make Psyduck on a skateboard and have him, like fall, hit a tree, hit his head, the Psyduck eye. And it was cute. I was like, cute video, because again, all about positivity. The amount of hate that this kid received is like, this is trash. You're trash. Like, Psyduck would hate you for this. Like the amount of hate I saw for this guy, like, this is, so I had to delete some of those comments. I'm like, hey kid, good job. Like, this entertained me. I hope you continue at it. I hope I see more like it. So I had to make that post that I just showed you because AI was there's a bunch of people, and I'm gonna show you guys something here. If you recall, every time we have a Sesame Street character that is about to be on VeVe, whether it was Big Bird, Elmo, Cookie Monster, doesn't matter. Vanity Fair would pick us up and they would say, like, favorite, your favorite characters now becoming NFTs. And all of the quote retweets or the requotes from that, you take a look at the people that have requoted that out of hate and said, like, this is trash. NFTs, ew, why? Oh my God, my favorite character is about to become an NFT, and everything is worse now in the world. And if you take a look at those people, like just what they look like, they all kind of look like you would have that argument. And they all kind of look like, okay, you're not someone that I would take advice from, like anything. So against public group, here's some of the people that came after me and like said that I hope I get ball cancer. And they also are a little confused about certain things. And they also are maybe a part of that group that so I want to say that is AI bad for the environment? Well, it's not good. But Disney just invested $1 billion into OpenAI so that Sora can make exclusive content of Disney stuff. And it's like, okay, why are they doing that? Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but again, Sora just got $1 billion. I'm sorry. OpenAI got $1 billion investment from Disney so that their Sora app can make exclusive content of Disney stuff, because Disney knows where the world is headed, and it's very expensive to make movies now. People are going to movies much less, and the price and the cost of making movies are going up. Disney knows this, and they know that this is what is going to happen in the future. AI is going to take over. Everything's going to be written by AI, done by AI, blah, 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 everything by AI. So they're trying to do a first move here. Hold on, it'll be a great way to start off the year. Right? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Bill Gardner. Can't wait for you to come on. So they're doing a first move here where they're allowing this. And I bring this up to these people, and they say, well, yeah, just because Disney's doing it, and they're doing the wrong thing doesn't mean that we can't be on the right side of history. It's like, well, the right side of history is generally going to be what is the greatest benefit to the overall number of people involved in any situation. And I don't think that this kid, I don't know his name, let's say Zach, let's say like 15-year-old, 20-year-old Zach, whatever his name was. Some of the people in the side up group, a little special. Anyway, like him making a 10-second video is not going to be the end all be all. I changed the world. And was like, listen, this is why I really emphasize the no hate here. It's because of the fact that, again, people are taking what is likely the future, it's AI, and they're shaming people for learning about a new technology that they're too lazy to do, or they're too lazy to learn about. So I think that in the future, and VeVe's been very vocal, at least David has, about the use of AI in the VeVeverse. And I'm very curious on what that looks like. Did he have anything to do with Disney going to OpenAI and say, hey, do this, because here's what we're doing in the VeVeverse? I don't know. But again, all roads lead back to VeVe. This is just some of the stuff I want to talk about. Today's date, 27th. Okay, let's do OMI stacker burns here. On the 25th, we had 1.9 million OMI burned. Love it. Babe. Oh, I freaking love this. Or the other day I said, hey, Sarah, I call right now, but the new episodes of Stranger Things just dropped. And she said, do you, boo? So I think that I think that everyone should find a girl that doesn't mind when you don't call her because new episodes of Stranger Things are out. Anyway, of course not. OMI, meow. Here's me at like 18. Very, very, yeah, very young looking Chavez over there. Putin says that U.S. has expressed interest in using Ukraine power plant for crypto mining as part of ongoing peace negotiations. Huh. Okay. We've gone over pretty much everything. I do have to bounce here. I do have other stuff I got to do. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say goodbye to Dashi. Bye, Dashi. I love you all. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Oh, how last cycle, everyone said super cycle. I wish I looked at the non-biased data of the charts that I hate looking at. So many indicators are being hit. What are you basing 2026 altcoin season on? Clarity Act and the fact that we probably have a big, massive dip in February, March. And then we go V-shaped recovery after that, after like 90, 100 days, whatever. So probably second half of the year. But for DEVVE announcement, probably April, I'm thinking, and that'll go crazy. Unless it gets delayed again. Anyway, I love you all. Class dismissed. Bye, guys.